Hey, what's going on? Dan here, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about the 5 secrets that allowed me to go from $1,000 a month, not making any money with dropshipping, all the way up to $100,000 a month and more with dropshipping. You know, when I got started with dropshipping, I was struggling for the longest time to make any kind of decent money. And for me, I had already been very successful with Amazon FBA. You know, I was already sharing videos on YouTube about how to build a private label brand on Amazon around the world, you know, and I became an expert at Amazon, and I was already doing it for more than a year. But I knew I wanted to go and eventually learn the skills. I wanted to learn the skill that I could go and just, you know, take a brand from zero all the way up to millions of dollars. Just like some of the biggest Shopify brands out there. I was really inspired by, for example, Gymshark, Movement Watches, you know, Fashion Nova, all these other big brands that you probably have heard about. The thing was that I was struggling so hard at the beginning because I was following YouTube videos out there, and that was the only information really. That's how, you know, everybody learns everything nowadays, YouTube videos. And I was struggling because I was applying the information, but none of it was working. And I started to see problems because I was already experienced with e-commerce, right? And I started to notice that with dropshipping, Facebook ads are quite difficult. You know, you have to constantly test hundreds of products, and it's very short term because you have to go and basically copy and paste products from AliExpress using Oberlo, you know, and then basically just put them on your store. And to me, it just seemed like my grandmother can just go and copy my business overnight. So what ended up happening was, since I was following this information on YouTube and, you know, from other places on the internet, I actually went down $70,000. I lost $70,000 on my main store. But later on, I recovered that money, and then I took that store and I scaled it up to 7 figures. I went from zero, from like $1,000 a month with that store, all the way up to $100,000 to $200,000 a month. And that was because I found out these 5 secrets, which I'm going to talk about in this video. They're going to completely revolutionize your dropshipping business. If you're trying to get started with Shopify, you're trying to get started with dropshipping, this will help you tremendously. So let's get right into it. I'm super excited about this video. Let's get into the computer. So secret number 1, don't test hundreds of products. Instead of doing that, build a long-term brand. And what I mean by that is that, like I said, when I was first starting out with dropshipping, when I was first learning it, I was testing, I was running ads, I was trying to build general stores, you know, the advice at the time, and still, up until recently, the kind of main advice was to go and test hundreds of products that you find on AliExpress, and then basically have e-package shipping, which is tremendously long shipping, 2 to 3 week shipping. That's what I was doing. What I realized very quickly was that, you know, it took me such a long time to find a good product that would actually convert on my ads. And also, you know, creating those ads constantly for every single new product just took a lot of time. It just wasted a lot of time. And so one time it clicked, like one day it just clicked to me in my head, and I realized that instead of like testing hundreds of products and trying to run endless amounts of Facebook ads, I should focus on creating the best, nicest looking brand with an amazing product. And the reason for that is because I found that the key to success with dropshipping is to find a great product with a wow factor that doesn't yet have enough exposure around the world, and to go all in with it, building a powerful one product store or a powerful brand with it. The reason why I say that's the key to success is because you have to think about, like, what is everybody else doing with Shopify? They're all, you know, copy pasting from AliExpress, as I mentioned, right? What are the most successful stores doing? We're gonna get to that in secret number 2. It's very, very powerful actually to look at that. What they're all doing is they're all thinking about the long term. You know, as I was testing all these products, I realized that, okay, well, this is not what, you know, the most successful Shopify stores were doing. What the most successful Shopify stores were doing is they were following some strategies that allow them to stay in the game for years, instead of just finding a product and then it's going to die a month or 2 later, and then it's going to be up on YouTube in a few months, you know, with some dropshipper YouTuber that's going to show it to everybody saying how much money he made, right? But then the product's dead. I realized that if I focused on choosing a product, finding a product, you know, just going through Facebook, through social media, looking at the ads popping up, looking at the trends, right, Google Trends, looking at Alibaba, AliExpress, what's on there. If I can find a product that satisfies the need, an unfulfilled need of a market, or maybe a fulfilled need, but just an innate need of a particular target market. For example, you know, people with acne, you know, they're going to need a product that removes acne, right? People that are overweight, they're going to need weight loss products. It's always going to be a need, right? So I realized that if I find a product that satisfies that need, that fulfills that need, and I build a brand around it, and the product has a wow factor, so like when people see it on their social media or on the website, on the store, they're like, wow, I want to buy this right now. I realized that that was the key to success with dropshipping, because it was a long-term approach instead of this short-term kind of, you know, BS way of trying to go and find products, endlessly testing stuff. It's very gimmicky. It's not how you build a real business. If you went and asked, you know, the founders of any big dropshipping store, which I'm going to get to, I'm going to give you a case study here in the next slide. It's secret number 2, and it's really, really powerful. But yeah, I realized that was the key to success. Building a one product brand, more customer trust as a result of that, higher profits because people just trust your brand more, you can charge higher prices, lower costs for ads because you have something now called brand recognition. People actually know what your brand is about if they're constantly seeing it on social media. More word of mouth. Word of mouth is basically used to be impossible, or if you're doing a general store approach, no one's gonna, recommend Joe's Essentials, right? No one's gonna recommend Joe's General Store, right? Much stronger marketing opportunities with influencers because now you're not just Joe, Joe Schmo trying to send products to influencers. Now, you're an actual brand that is, trying to get influencers to promote the product. Secret number 2, reverse engineering massive dropshipping success. I want you to look at the most successful dropshipping stores ever made and reverse engineer their success. That's what I do. Whenever I have a goal, because I always look at people that are 10 to 100 times more successful than me, and I reverse engineer because there are beaten paths and there are paths that just are, unexplored. I would rather go and follow in the path of somebody who's already been successful with something and improve over what they're doing and have much higher chances of success that way than, try to go and risk everything on an unexplored path where I don't know if I'm going to succeed or not. And so what I realized was, okay, well, if this is the key to dropshipping, the successful dropshipping, creating a brand, I realized I have to look at some of the most successful stores. And the most successful store by far, in my opinion, is Gymshark. Gymshark is, as you know, a worldwide fitness brand, clothing, all that kind of stuff. And I'm actually going to show you what they did here. So Gymshark was a Shopify store that was started by a guy named Ben Francis when he was 19 years old, and he started in his bedroom while he was in college. He very quickly realized that he didn't have enough money to order his own inventory, so he started with the dropshipping model. And what happened was he had no sales for 2 months. For the first 2 months, he had no sales. He was selling, I don't know exactly what, but I think it was like t-shirts with his own designs, and he was doing some kind of print on demand. With dropshipping, he made his first profit, and then he used that money to reinvest all of it into creating his own inventory. So he actually started manufacturing it himself. I believe he rented out some space to start making the shirts and things like that. And he was like the first person that pioneered sending products over to influencers as free gifts. And what happened was his store exploded. And now in 2018, they made over $120 million in sales. And in 2019, I wouldn't be surprised if that figure went over 150 or 200 million maybe. So if you look at Gymshark as an example of what to aim for down the road, not as like a, let's make a Gymshark right now. That's impossible. It's not going to happen, right? But if you look at Gymshark as what a brand should look like a few years down the road, maybe a year or 2 years later, you have the end goal in mind. Now you're actually starting on a path that's proven that will allow you to, really make millions of dollars, that will allow you to get the kind of success that, is generational wealth. Basically, you can then sell a brand for millions and millions of dollars. And that's what my goal is right now. I want to build a physical products brand first to 100 million and then to $1 billion. And so hopefully we're going to be talking about that in the next few years. But that's what Ben Francis did with Gymshark, and that's a great example of how you should be approaching Shopify, right? So start with dropshipping, but focus on building a brand. Secret number 3, and this is something that I realized also after a few months, after losing a ton of money with Facebook ads, testing different products. Make sure the numbers are on your side. What do I mean by that? So by the numbers, I mean your profit margin. Make sure that there's enough of a profit to be made. And make sure that you can charge a high enough price where people will pay for it, you'll get enough demand, you'll get enough orders, and then there's still a relatively low cost of buying the products, a relatively low cost of goods sold. And the reason I say that is because you want to start with this. You absolutely want to start with good numbers because you want to give yourself an advantage over everybody else. If you give yourself a starting advantage with, let's say a product that you can sell for $99 on your store and you can source it from Alibaba or AliExpress, from China for about $20, then you have a much, much higher chance of success than somebody who is sourcing a product at $10 and selling it at $30, because the difference is that the person who's selling the product at $30 only has $20 to play around with for ads. If I'm selling the product at $100, a different one, and I'm sourcing it for $20, that means that I have over $80, $79 to play with for ads, right? So I have much more of money available for paid traffic, right? And if we're going to use paid ads as our main source of traffic of customers, like Facebook and Instagram, or Pinterest or Google, then we want to make sure that we have enough in there that we can afford to screw up, because if you're a beginner, you will lose money on your first Facebook ads, and that's just the truth, right? But eventually you will learn, and that's entrepreneurship. You get through the failures, it's feedback, right? And you learn and you succeed. So make sure that the numbers are favorable before you start your store. Secret number 4, get the inputs right. So think of Facebook or any paid ad platform, any kind of system that you're using as a system. A system has inputs and outputs. And this is actually something that I learned from a very expensive mastermind that I'm a part of. It blew my mind when I learned it, because at the same time, I was also, really focusing on building and scaling my store. And so what I realized was that, okay, Facebook is a system. So Facebook has inputs and outputs, right? If you can get the inputs right, then, even if you don't have the best Facebook ad skills in the world, right? If you suck at Facebook ads, you're not good at Facebook ads. If the inputs are correct, by inputs, I mean, you have the best possible video ads that you've created. You have the most enticing offer, and we're going to talk about offer in the next few minutes of this video, so don't go anywhere, and you have a truly wow product, like your product is really great looking store with strong branding, these are the inputs, these are the things that you can control, right? The Facebook ad performance, of course you can control that, but you can't control, what people are bidding and the auction system and the CPMs and all this kind of technical stuff. You can't control that, right? But you can control your store and your product and your offer. So if you can get the inputs right, or put in as much effort as you can into it, an amazing offer there, you can get a great product with a wow factor, you can create the best possible video ads, then no matter what you throw at it, no matter what interests on Facebook, audiences on Facebook, all that kind of stuff that people worry about, all the technical stuff, it will be profitable no matter what. All right. And so that's something that I realized that just clicked in my head one day as I was sitting in a mastermind. So I hope that really helps you out as well. It's huge. Secret number 5, understand the psychology of a buyer. This is a massive tool and a skill that you should study and learn, like hardcore, if you want to be successful at e-commerce and dropshipping, or, selling anything to anyone. And what I mean by psychology of a buyer is you've got to think about your customer, the average customer in your target market. So let's say you've already got a niche, you've already got a product, right? Think about the customer. Just get into the person's head, right? What will make a person in your target market buy? What kind of ads do they want to see that would make them buy your product? What are their main problems, pain points, wishes, and desires? And this will allow you, and it's really useful if you just go grab a notebook and start writing this down. This is like basically in marketing terms, if you go to university or anything like that, you take any marketing course, it's called building your customer avatar. This way, if you can understand, like you can really get into your ideal customer's head, right? And once you have a niche, it's easy to kind of understand your customer. You can also go around, around your neighborhood or around your family, friends, your close kind of area there, and you can go and ask those people in that target market, because I'm sure there are a few people at least in the target market that you're looking for to sell product in. And just ask them, what are your pain points, wishes, desires, and like what would make you buy? And just doing this exercise will allow you to learn how to better create your ads, for example, with amazing scroll stoppers, right? So you can then understand, okay, if I put this into the first few seconds of my ad, then it's going to stop their attention right away, and I can, use this, and it's going to be for sure very powerful. If you can really, grab people's attention and grab the right people's attention, then you'll be very successful with your dropshipping store, with your e-commerce brand. I want to mention that humans now have a lower attention span than goldfish, which is kind of absurd, but it shows you, right? So humans have an attention span of 8 seconds, this is last year, and goldfish have an attention span of 1 second longer, of 9 seconds. So it's pretty absurd, right? But that's the world that we live in today. You want to make sure that, you understand you have a very limited time to capture your customer's attention. You want to create video ads in your entire brand, your entire offer with this in mind, consumer psychology. And finally, secret number 6, and yes, it's a bonus secret, and I really wanted to dig this in because this is the most powerful one of all. Create an irresistible offer. And what I mean by that is successful dropshipping and e-commerce is all about creating great offers that people actually want to buy. So an offer is, this microphone right here, this phone, right, this computer, right? So, let's say if I'm trying to sell this microphone for $200, right? That's my offer. This microphone, $200, right? So that's an offer. You want to make an irresistible offer, because if your offer is, iffy, it's meh, it's not the best, it's going to be very hard for you to, even with the world's best ad, it's going to be very hard for you to actually get your customers to buy from you. Like I said, put yourself in your average customer's shoes and imagine what they want to buy now and what's going to make them buy now. And you want to give this to them and emphasize it hard, like hardcore, emphasize this in your offer. And that way, as soon as your ideal customer comes onto your store, you have a high chance that they're actually going to convert and they're going to buy from you. Also, if you focus on creating a great offer, so, selling something that people actually want to buy, then you have to worry less about running the perfect Facebook ads or testing, millions of products to find the perfect product or any other technical stuff that we talked about. You don't have to worry about all this stuff, because if you got a great offer, people will buy, people will convert, traffic will convert, it won't be a problem, and you'll get your store from 0 to multiple 6 figures a month very, very quickly. Great offers will always win. And the reason why I made this video, the reason why is because I truly want you to have the right tools to succeed with Shopify dropshipping. And not only dropshipping, but actually building an e-commerce brand that has the potential to massively change your life and free you from the 9-to-5. For the past few months now, I've been putting out a lot of videos on the right way to build e-commerce brands, the right way to go and do Shopify dropshipping, not what everybody else is teaching. What I'm actually going to be doing is, by the time you're watching this video, there's going to be a free training. There's going to be down below. It's completely free to sign up. There's going to be a limited amount of people that can join because the software can't support enough people in there. I think the max cap is 1,000. But in that training, I'm going to show you exactly, step by step, exactly everything that I talked about in this video in practice, from 0 all the way to building a dropshipping brand that has the potential to massively change your life, and to do it the right way, the long-term way, not the short-term way. And also, I'm going to teach you how to offer 2 to 3 day fast shipping on your store. I'm going to teach you how to go past dropshipping all the way over to dropshipping private labeling, which is like the final goal where you want to go, and then influencer marketing and everything like that. So by the time you're watching this video, the link is going to be down below. Leave this video a like if you enjoyed it, because my mission is to really spread the truth about how to build a proper e-commerce brand that you can later sell for millions of dollars. I hope that that's what you end up doing. I hope you take this information, take action, you join the free training as well, which link for is down below. And also, I put out a video recently on how to get to $100,000, a $100,000 Shopify dropshipping store, and how to get to 100K in 60 days. Go click on it. It's incredibly important that you watch it. All right, hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see you soon.